Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360, and today basically we have to cover companies part 2, clear company part 2. So let's start our discussion. So first of all, we will discuss regarding the companies in the previous session and types of companies. So let's move towards the basically companies on the basis of the liability, clear. So companies type basically on the basis of the liability, clear. So on the basis of the liability, basically what are the different types of the company? Let's discuss. First one is company limited by the shares, clear. First point basically which we have to discuss here, that is the company limited by the shares. So it is a company, clear. So it is a company in which liability of its members, clear. Basically it is a company in which liability of its member is limited by the memorandum to the amount, clear. Basically it is a company basically in which liability of the member it's limited by memorandum to the amount, clear, if any, unpaid on the shares respectively basically held by them, clear. So basically up to how much amount that is unpaid of on the shares respectively held by them, clear. Most of the companies in India basically are companies basically with the limited liability, clear. Most of the companies basically in India basically are the companies basically with the limited liability, clear. So this is the first point, that is basically on the basis of the liability, clear, on the basis of the liability. Second one, company basically limited by the guarantee, clear. Second one which we have to discuss is that is the company limited by the guarantee, clear. So it is a company in which liability of a member, clear. So basically it is a company basically in which liability of a member is fixed to a certain amount, clear. So it is a company basically in which liability of a member is fixed to a certain amount and he is liable to pay that much amount in the event of winding up of the company, clear. So company limited by the guarantee, basically it is under that basically a specific amount is to be mentioned, clear. So basically it is a company in which the liability of a member is fixed to a certain amount and he is liable to pay that much amount, clear, and he is liable to pay that much amount in the event of winding up of the company, clear. Basically when he is liable to pay basically in the event of the winding up of the company, and that much amount basically which he is liable to pay, basically this amount basically it is called as the guarantee, clear. So this much amount basically it is called as the guarantee. So such companies are generally floated for the promotion of, clear. So basically these are what type of companies? So such company basically are generally floated for the promotion of sports, education, religion, fine art, etc., and are essentially basically non-profit making organizations, clear. Or sometimes basically these are to be known as the NP, non-profit making organizations, clear. So basically which are companies limited by the guarantee? Basically such companies are generally floated basically for the promotion of sports, education, religion, fine art, etc., clear, and are essentially, clear, basically, and are essentially basically non-profit, clear, and are essentially basically non-profit making organizations. So next one which we have to discuss here, clear. Next point, that is basically company basically with unlimited liability, clear. Basically company basically with unlimited liability, clear. So it is a company, clear. So basically it is a company basically in which the liability of a member is unlimited, clear. Company with unlimited liability, basically it is a company basically in which the liability of the member, clear, basically in which the liability of the member basically it is unlimited. Such a company can be incorporated basically with or without share capital, clear. So company with unlimited liability, basically it is a company in which the liability of a member is unlimited, clear. Basically in which the liability of a member is unlimited, and such a company, clear. Further basically such a company can be incorporated basically with or without, clear. Basically such a company basically can be incorporated basically with or without the share capital, clear. Basically with or without the share capital, clear. So these are the basically this type of the company basically on the basis of the liability, clear, on the basis of the liability. So now basically I think all of you are aware regarding basically what is the distinction between partner and the limited liability company. I will provide you can go through once, clear. That are all are straightforward point, clear. So now let's understand, clear. So now let's understand basically regarding the company account. So please try to understand, very very important, clear, regarding the company's account, basically how the transaction basically will be going into that, clear. So basically for any company, clear. So basically how the company basically will work, clear. Basically for any company basically for performing any task, first of all basically for the establishment of any company, first of all basically what they will require, basically they will require the capital, clear. First of all basically any company basically what it will require, basically they will require the capital, clear. they will require the capital. So how the capital, clear, basically how the company basically will raise the capital, clear. So basically from their shareholders. Generally, basically company will raise the capital basically either by taking the loans. So basically it is very difficult, clear, to take the loan of large amounts, clear. So basically what another way basically they are using basically to raise the capital basically from the market. So how basically they will raise the market by issuing their shares, clear, basically by issuing their shares. So basically the capital in the company basically it is by the shareholders. Like in the partnership form, clear, like in the partnership form, basically we know that. Like in the partnership form, basically capital is to be given by their partners. Clear. So in the similarly in the company, mainly capital it is by the shareholders. Clear. So let's understand, like basically we can say that there is a capital of any firm or company basically wants to raise basically rupees 1 crore from the market. Clear. So it is very difficult. Clear. Basically it is very difficult for a single person to give that much amount. Clear. Basically it is very difficult basically for a single person to give that much large amount. Clear. So what they will do now, clear. So basically what they will do now, basically they will divide the capital, clear. Basically they will divide the capital basically into parts, that is basically known as shares, clear. So basically they will create share, each share of rupees 10. So how much total shares, clear, number of shares. So 1 crore, so 1 lakh. So 7 zeros here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Clear. So total there are 7 zeros, clear, in 1 crore. Divide by 10. So here basically we have 10 lakh shares. Clear. So basically here basically we have 10 lakh shares of a particular company. Clear. So basically how the company basically will raise the funds from the market basically by issuing these 10,000 shares in the market. Basically they can raise the funds. Clear. Basically they can raise the funds. So let's further move that. Like basically here A have purchased 1,000 shares. B has purchased 2 lakh shares. A 1 lakh, B, C has purchased 7 lakh. Just for taking an example. Clear. So here basically we have 3 persons, A, B, and C. A purchased 10 lakh shares, 1 lakh shares. So basically A has 10% contribution. B has purchased 2 lakh shares. So basically B has 20% contribution in the organization. C has purchased 7 lakh shares. So C has 70% contribution. Clear. Like in the case of the partnership firm, clear. Basically if any partnership firm, if any partner basically goes out from that firm, clear. Basically if any partner basically goes out basically from that firm, so the partnership firm has to be dissolved, clear. Basically partnership firm has to be dissolved at that time. So basically because one partner is going to out. But here in the company, basically if A say that basically I want to leave the company, clear. Basically I want to leave the company, just what they will do, clear. Basically they will sell their shares. So basically what A will do, basically they will sell their shares and B will purchase that, clear. And B will purchase that or C will purchase that, or half of, like we can say that basically A now basically 2,50,000 shares, B has 7 lakh. So here basically nothing will impact on the capital of the company, or basically we can say that basically one new person D will join the company and basically will say that basically I will purchase 50,000 shares. E will come more that basically I will purchase 50,000 shares. So basically in the end, basically what I want to say that there is nothing any impact, clear. Basically there is nothing any impact basically on the capital of the company, clear. Basically there is nothing any impact basically on the capital of the company. As usual the company will continuously going to run, clear. As usual the basically company will continue to run. It has nothing any impact, clear. Basically it has nothing any impact on its composition, on its capital, clear. It will continuously run, clear. Basically it will continuously run as usual. Okay. So now let's discuss one question, and this is very, very important. Clear. I request to all of you, please try to understand these questions. That definitely help you to understand the concept. Clear. Basically, there are many examples in the book. Clear. in the chapter number 17, clear, there are 7 to 8 examples. If you are able to understand all these things one by one, definitely you are able to answer all the questions, clear, basically present in our book, clear, or available in our group book. So let's start our discussion. The first question basically presents on your screen. XYZ Limited was registered, clear, basically there was a company that is basically known as XYZ Limited, was registered basically with the capital of rupees 3 lakh. So how much capital that is? Rupees 3 lakh. So divided in number of shares, 30,000. If capital of rupees 3 lakh, just for the understanding purpose, basically we are taking that much. Once clear, basically if the capital is 3 lakh, number of shares is 30,000. Clear? So total basically value of each share. Rupees 10. Clear? So here the value of each share basically it is to be rupees 10. Clear? So here the value of each rupees basically it is to be rupees 10. Clear? So now next basically what we have to do here. Clear? Here basically we know that the value of each share it is to be rupees 10. So further application rupees 2 per share, first allotment rupees 3 per share, first call rupees 2 per share, second call rupees 3 per share. Clear? So all the application and money are duly received. Clear? Pass necessary journal entries. Clear what they are saying. So basically there are 4 steps, clear, basically for an share or issuing of the shares. First one basically we have to go for the application. Second one allotment. Third one first call. Second one, last one second call, or we can say that it is to final call. So at the application time basically how much amount basically we have to give? Rupees 2. At the allotment time basically rupees 3. At the first call rupees 2. At the second call rupees 3. Clear? So basically in this way basically we have to give the amount. Clear? So in this way basically we have to give the amount. Clear? So how basically it will goes out? Let's try to understand. Clear? Because at the time of the application, clear, basically at the time of the application basically what they are saying that basically you have to give rupees 2. What is the meaning of that? Clear? Basically first of all basically company says that basically we are going to launch, clear, basically, or basically we are going to issue these much shares. Clear? So first of all basically they are saying that basically first of all you have to apply. Clear? So it's depend upon us, clear, basically whether basically we are going to allot our shares to you or not. Clear? So at the time of the application, clear, basically if the share it is of rupees 10, so just basically you have to give 2 rupees. Clear? So just you have to give 2 rupees. Clear? And after the application, clear, if you are basically allotted our shares, after that basically you have to give rupees 3 shares, and in the next demand basically you have to give 2 rupees, that is first call, and at the end basically you have to give rupees 3. Clear? So basically why they are basically taking the money basically from the public basically in the form of installments. Clear? Basically in the form of installments. Clear? So basically why? Because it is easier for the public. Clear? Because it is easier for the public basically to buy the shares. Clear? Basically it is easier for the public basically to buy the shares in the form of the installments rather than basically to purchase the shares in a single attempt. Clear? To purchase the shares in a single attempt. Clear? So it is easier to buy the shares. Clear? So what is the meaning of this thing? Like basically you want basically you want to start a new factory. Clear? So first of all basically you want require basically 50 lakh or 60 lakh for that. Clear? Basically we can say that for that basically you will require 60 lakh. Clear? So first of all initially basically in the initial case, first case, that is at the first time, you will require only rupees 15 lakh basically for the purchase of the land. Clear? Basically for the purchase of the land basically you will require 15 lakh. That is like application. After that basically after 2 months you have to start the construction purpose. Clear? For that you will require 20 lakh. Clear? So basically here there is a time gap. Clear? So it is also easier for you to raise the capital that is 60 lakh, clear, basically within a 7 to 8 months in the place of basically at one instance, clear, basically in the place of at one instance, clear. So here basically we have done the construction. Now here next one, that is after 6 months, clear. Construction takes 6 months. So basically now basically we have to installation of the machinery that is of 15 lakh. Clear. So basically it will take also 15 days. Now after that basically we will start our work basically after 2 months. Purchase of raw material and other work, clear, purchase of raw material and other, clear? So here basically we will see that, clear, basically here basically we will see that basically within the duration of the time, clear, not at one instance, clear, basically within the duration of time, basically we can say that after a 7 to 8 months, clear, or basically within 7 to 8 months, basically our structure basically properly built up, clear, basically our structure properly built up, clear. So in the place of one instance, clear, basically, or in the place of one time, basically we will acquire payment in a duration of 7 to 8 months, clear. So basically we will require a payment in a duration of 7 to 8 months, clear. So basically it is also easier, clear. Similarly here, if any person basically wants to share 1000 share, wants to purchase 1000 shares of rupees 10, so basically it is difficult for them to basically give 10,000 rupees on single time, clear, on one time. In the other place, if they are taking basically 2000 at one time, 3000 basically after another 2 months, clear. So basically it is easier for that person, clear. So it is easier for that person basically to purchase the shares, clear. So it is easier for them to purchase the shares, clear, basically if it is divided in the parts, clear, if it is divided in the form of the parts, clear. So now it is clear to all of you, basically at the time of application rupees 2 per share, at the time of allotment rupees 3 per share, at the first call basically rupees 2 per share, and in the second call basically rupees 3 per share, clear. So now basically what we have to understand basically how to pass the entries, clear, basically how to pass the entries. So let's try to understand here, clear. Please try to understand very seriously. If you have doubt at any place, you can ask your doubt, clear. So please remember that here. Please remember that one thing here, clear. So here you have to remember that, clear. First of all, basically we have to do the application. Second one, allotment. Third one, first call. Second one, last one, that is the second call, clear. Last one here, that is the second call, clear. So at the time of the application, basically you have to give 2 rupees. At the time of the allotment, basically you have to give 3 rupees. On the first call, clear, basically when there is demand basically from the company, that is first call 2 rupees. Second call, that is the final call. At that time, basically you have to pay rupees 3, clear. So we know that basically bank account, clear, basically bank account, basically it is the asset, clear. Bank account, basically it is the asset of that firm. So asset, basically we have know that basically it is debit, clear. Asset is going to be debit, clear. So basically on the application, clear, at the time of the application, we have 30,000 shares. At the time of application, basically how many rupees basically you have to give rupees to? So 2 into 30,000, that is 60,000, clear, that is 60,000, clear. So bank account at the starting, basically bank account debit 2 into 30,000. So basically where basically we have to put that amount, that is basically to share application, clear, basically to share application, clear. Basically we have to credit that account, basically that is share application account, basically we have to credit. And that this capital, clear, basically share application capital, basically we have to raise the capital, clear, share application, clear, basically we have to credit the share application account, but that capital, basically that is the share capital, clear. Just next step, basically what we have to do, share application account debited, and basically we have to credit to share capital, because we are raising the capital here, clear, basically we are raising the capital here 60. Clear. So please try to remember that, clear. First of all, bank account debited basically in the case of the application, clear. So how much money basically you are going to raise, clear? Total 30,000 shares, and each share it is of rupees 2, clear, and each share basically it is rupees 2. So 2 into 30,000, that is 60,000, clear. And that amount basically we have to share credit basically in which account, that is to share application account. So share application account, clear. In the next case, basically we have to debit share application account and credit the share capital account, clear, credit the share capital account. So basically here, basically you have to see that basically This account basically, first of all, basically we are going to credit, and later on basically we are going to debit this account. Clear? So this is the overview of the first transaction. Clear? That is the overview of the this one. Clear? Application. Now, first of all, basically when the application is to be going on, so next step, that is the allotment. Clear? Basically allotment. At the time of the allotment, basically we know that how much rupees basically we have to give 3 rupees. Total share 30,000. Clear? So basically how much amount basically the firm basically receive? That is a 90,000. Clear? That is a 90,000. Clear? So please remember that basically how the transaction. Here, first of all, basically we are going to debit the bank account and credit the share application account. After that, basically we have to debit the share application account and credit the share capital account. Clear? Now just basically we have to reverse the. Clear? So here basically we are share is to be allotted. Clear? Share is to be allotted. Clear? So just here application. So just basically we are taking this step first one. Next one basically we have to this one. Clear? Just opposite. So here basically we have share allotment. So basically we have to debit the share allotment account, that is 3 into 30,000. That is 90,000. And which account basically we have to credit, that is to share capital. Clear? Because in the end basically we have to credit the share capital account by this one. Now perform this much transaction. Clear? That is bank account is to be debited. Sorry. Here share allotment debit. So this one basically we have to also credit. Clear? So bank account we have to debit by this much amount to share allotment. This account basically we have to credit. So overall you will see that share allotment account, here it is to be debited, here it's to be credited. So in the net basically this account is to be remained present. Here also basically this account and this account is to be remained present, that is share capital and bank account. Transaction is to be present here, and in the rest accounts basically transaction is to be nullified. Clear? And in the rest accounts basically transaction is going to be nullified. Clear? Nullified. Clear? Because at one time basically we have debited that account, and in the second time basically we have credited that account. Clear? So why? Please try to understand basically why I am reverse this transaction here. Clear? Why? First of all, I will allot the amount to the share account. Clear? In the place of the bank account to be debited, why I will place the account that is share allotment. Clear? So please try to understand the example here. Like you are applying a broadband connection. Clear? Like you are applying a broadband connection. So basically when you are applying a broadband connection, clear? So first time you have to give the application money or application amount. That first time basically you have to give the application amount. Clear? That is to be going to their account. Clear? That is going to be their account. That is clear. First time you have to give money, like basically we can say that basically for the application of the broadband account you have to give 1,500 rupees. Clear? So basically first time basically you have to give the amount to the organization. Clear? Because they do not know regarding you. Clear? Because they do not have any information basically regarding you. Clear? So that's why first of all basically we have to account, bank account is to be debited. That this time basically there is an application received. Clear? There is an application received. Clear? By the organization from the persons. Clear? Because or from their shareholders. Clear? Because the organization basically in the first time don't know basically regarding their shareholders. Clear? Basically they do not have any information basically regarding their shareholders. Clear? But in the next step, clear, basically at the time of the allotment, they have to know that basically from these person basically they are going to receive the money. Clear? From these person basically they are going to receive the money, or they are basically raising their demand. Clear? Basically they are raising their demand to pay the money. Clear? They are raising their demand to pay the money. So that's why basically we have debited the share allotment account first to and credit the share capital account. Clear? Similarly here second time basically what will happen? Clear? Second time basically what will happen here? The organization. Clear? Second time basically what will happen here? That is the organization basically, or basically that is basically the organization basically will raise the bill first, or basically you have to go to the office of the organization and ask basically how much amount basically you are going to raise. Clear? So in the second step basically the organization basically will raise the bill first and you have to pay the money. Clear? And you have to pay the money because the organization know that basically this person basically have taken the broadband connection basically last month, and now they have to pay the bill. Clear? Now they have to pay the bill every month. Clear? Now basically they have their records basically. Now they have record basically in their database, clear, of your broadband connection. Clear? So now that's why. So they will raise the demand. Clear? So basically they will raise the demand in the second instance. Clear? So they will raise the demand basically in the second instance. Similarly, this will happen here. Clear? So only in the first step, clear, at the time of the application, because the organization basically does not have enough information regarding the applicant. That's why basically at that time, basically bank account is going to be debited. Why debited? Because bank account basically it is an asset. Clear? So asset is going to be debited. Clear? Liability basically we are going to credit. Clear? So please remember that. Clear? So in the next step, clear, third step here, that is the first call. Clear? So first call. Clear? So basically how basically we have to go the step. Clear? Basically how we have to perform the, that is share first call. At that time basically you have to pay rupees 2 per share, total 60,000. 3,000, 30,000 share. And basically we have to credit which account? Basically to share capital account. 60,000. Next one, last one, that is just basically we have to do second entry, that is bank account debited. 60,000. Credited basically to share first call. Clear? So this is the step go. Now last one, that is the final step, that is the final call or the second call. Final call or the second call. Clear? So the last step here, that is the final call or the second call. Let's go with that. So second call, under the second call, clear, that is basically in the application 60,000, allotment 90,000. First call 60,000, second call that is 90,000. Clear? Because in the second call, basically how much amount basically you have to pay? Rupees 3 per share. Clear? How much amount basically you have to pay? That is rupees 3 per share. Clear? So how many shares? That is 30,000. Clear? So at that time basically share second call or final call, 3 into 30,000, 90,000 basically you are going to debit to next last one, that is bank account. We are going to be debited and credit basically to this one account. Clear? So basically all these are the journal entries basically which we are going to perform here. Clear? So all these are all overall the journal entries basically which we are going to perform. Clear? Basically which we are going to perform. So please tell fast if you have any doubt, any query regarding these errors. Clear? So please tell fast basically if you have any doubt, any query regarding these errors. Same thing basically it is given in the book. Clear? Same thing basically it is given in the book. But I will tell you, just you have to understand the concept here. Clear? Just you have to understand the concept here and try to solve that problem. Clear? I will help you to solve all these problems one by one. Basically, first of all, basically you have to understand the concept. Clear? Basically you have to understand the concept. I will repeat the process once again so that you are able to understand. So here basically what they're saying, that basically XYZ Limited was registered basically with the capital. Clear? Basically was registered basically with the capital of rupees 3 lakh. Clear? So basically how much basically they are registered basically with the capital, that is of rupees 3 lakh. And each capital, clear, basically, and the divided the capital basically into the shares, basically how much share? Basically that is 30,000 shares. Clear? And they have divided the capital basically into 30,000 shares, and each shares basically it is of how much amount? Clear? And each share basically it is of how much amount? That is rupees 10. Clear? Each share basically it is of how much amount? That is rupees 10. So how basically you have to pay? Basically at the time of the application basically you have to pay rupees 2. At the time of the allotment basically you have to pay rupees 3. At the time of the first call you have to pay rupees 2, and at the time of the second call you have to pay rupees 3. Clear? Basically why you have to pay in the installments? I will take one more example. Like basically we can say that like any state development authority. Clear? Any state development authority basically allotting flats or plots. Like basically we are taking the example of a plot. If plot it is of rupees 30 lakh. Now basically we are having only 50 plots. Now there are 100 applications are to be reached. So at the starting of the applying, you don't have to pay rupees 30 lakh for whole amount. Clear? Just you have to pay that is 10%. Clear? They are saying that just you have to pay 10% at the time of the application. Clear? At the time of the application, just you have to pay 10%, that is rupees 3 lakh. And if you have allotted, clear, and if you have allotted, then you have to pay next 40%. Clear? At the time of the allotment, you have to pay just 40%, that is application and allotment, there is 4 months gap period. Clear? That is 4 months gap period. Clear? That is basically result is to be declared after 4 months. Clear? After the application, result is to be declared basically after 4 months. That is after the application, 4 months after the result is to be declared. Clear? So at that time, basically how much you have to pay, that is 12 lakh. Clear? So after 3 months, there is a first call, you have to pay 30% more, that is 9 lakh. And how much is to be left? Only 6 lakh is to be left. So in the last call, clear, second call or the last call, at that time basically you have to pay 6 lakh. Clear? So in this way basically they are demanding the money in the time period. Clear? Like basically they are saying that basically in the 7 to 8 months, clear, the process is going to be completed, or basically within 1 year, clear, the process is going to be completed. So basically in that way you have to pay the money. Clear? So basically in that way basically you have to pay the money. Clear? So this is the thing basically they want to say here. Clear? Basically this is the thing basically they want to say here. Hope all of you are now able to understand. Clear? Why basically there are 4 things. Clear? Basically why there are basically 4 things. That is application, allotment, first call, second call. Clear? Application, allotment, first call, second call. Clear? So this is the same process here basically we are performing. At the time of the application, you have to pay rupees 2. At the time of allotment, you have to pay rupees 3. At the time of first call, you have to pay rupees 2. At the time of the second call or the final call, you have to pay rupees 3. Clear? So on the basis of that, we are performing the transactions. Clear? Or basically we are going to perform the entries. Clear? Or basically we are performing the entries. Clear? So I request to all of you, please go through the session once again. And if you have any doubt, any query, then you can ask. Clear? Then you can ask in the next session. Clear? So now here I will not start any new session, but I will discuss one more topic. Clear? Basically which we have to discuss. Clear? This question basically we have to discuss in the next session. There is one more case. Clear? Basically here basically what will happen in this case. So here basically only how much people, like basically we can say that all the application and money basically duly received. Clear? Like basically whatever the application basically we are receiving, basically we are allotting the shares to all of them. Clear? So here basically we are allotting the share basically to all of them. Basically how many applications basically we are received. Clear? How many applications basically we are received, basically we are allotting the shares to all of them. Clear? Now next one, that is pro rata basis. Clear? Pro rata basis, which we have to discuss in the next session along with the examples. Just I will discuss the concept. Like basically we are going to issue 30,000 shares. Clear? Basically we are going to issue 30,000 shares. For that, how many applications basically we are saving? Basically we can say that basically we have saved 60,000 applications or 50,000 applications basically from that. Clear? So basically if we are going to receive 60,000 applications, clear, basically for 30,000 shares. So in the end, basically there is 30,000 application is going to be rejected. Clear? Out of that, basically 30,000 application is going to be rejected. Clear? From that. So basically while rejecting the application, clear? So basically while rejecting the application, there are some cases are going to be rises. Clear? Basically there are some cases are going to be rises. Clear? First one, second one, third one. First one, like basically we can say that 10,000 people are basically are applied for a single allotment. Clear? So basically they are receiving the shares. Basically 10,000 applied and they are getting 10,000. Next one, basically they are 40,000 applied. And how much they are receiving? Basically 20,000. Clear? Basically they are receiving 20,000. Clear? Like some persons basically are applying only one IPO. Clear? Some person are applying basically only one IPO and they will get one IPO. Some are applying 10 IPO and they will get 2 IPO. Clear? So there is also allotment. There is also allotment. Here there is 100% allotment. Clear? That is fully allotted. This is to be known as fully allotted. These all are terminologies basically available in the book. Please try to understand here. Clear? because at that place basically they are not discussed in detail at this much point. Clear? So here basically they are also allotted. Clear? Basically they are also allotted basically, but not fully allotted. Clear? That is basically pro rata basis. Clear? That is basically known as pro rata basis. Clear? This is known as pro rata basis. Basically then when they have not allotted the exact amount. Clear? Basically for what they have subscribed, basically at that time basically they have not allotted the full amount. That is basically known as the pro rata basis. Clear? So here basically we have 10,000 application also, that basically we have total 30,000 share that is to be allotted here. They have received nothing. Clear? Basically they have received nothing. They are to be category in the form of the rejected. Clear? They are comes in the form of the rejected, that is nothing or nil they have to receive. So here basically we can say that basically they are applying for the one IPO and they have received nothing. Clear? They have received nothing. Clear? So they are come in the category of the rejected. Clear? Basically they are come in the category of the rejected. So please tell fast now. Now hope you are able to understand basically what is the meaning of the pro rata basis. Please tell fast. What is the meaning of the pro rata basis? Please tell fast now. That is some are gets all the applications. How much basically they have applied, they will get. That is basically known to be as the fully allotted. Second one, that is basically some they have applied for the more basically, but they will get less. Clear? That is basically known as pro rata basis. And they have applied for the application basically, but they will not get any application that is going to be rejected. Clear? That is going to be rejected. Please tell fast now if you have any doubt, any query basically up to this much point. So in this session, basically we have to cover up to this much point. And in the next session, clear, basically we will start basically with this example. Clear? Basically we will understand this example, and after understanding this example basically we will discuss the first question. Clear? Basically we will discuss the first and second question basically available in the book. Clear? Available in the book. Clear? If you are going to understand all these points properly, then whatever question basically present in our book, you are easily try to solve. Clear? You are easily try to solve. You have not to go with the solution. Clear? Available in the book. Just you have to try to understand this concept, basically what I am discussing here, and try to solve the question on the basis of that. Clear? And try to solve the question on the basis of that. Clear? So thanks to all of you for attending this session. Hope all of you are able to understand what basically we have discussed in our today's session.